Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check. Mic check, waifu. Montel, is that you?
Polo man, what's happening?
This is episode 225 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/slash Mic Check Waifu. It's where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. You get access to three exclusive shows that are exclusive to Patreon. One being our conversational podcast about anything, The After Story, which we just released, episode 69. Nice. It's about, the first topic is about Hunting of Hill House, which is my first time watching it. We discussed that and like cinematography in general, as well as the Activision Blizzard deal. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out The After Story 69. Also, Take Talk. Take Talk is the most recent episode of Take Talk is me giving the reason why I am quite different when it comes to takes on the internet compared to most people, which I'm going to delve into a little bit more today in this episode. 3, Mic Check Manga. Mic Check Manga is back. We have Mic Check Manga where we discuss different manga that we are reading or interested in. So by the time you're hearing this, it'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow on Patreon, Mic Check Manga with both of us releases, and it's about the girl I fell in love with is an alien. Spoiler alert. So if you haven't read that chapter to this new manga that just dropped recently, has 9 chapters out right now, but this new manga that just dropped, the girl I fell in love with is an alien. Read chapter 1 and listen to our talks about it on Mic Check Manga exclusively on Patreon. So not only that, but Till also has a solo where he does his My Hero update, his thoughts on that. Very, very good video. I looked at a little bit of it muted, so I didn't hear anything, and I think I only saw one panel, but I could barely tell what was going on, so I'm good. I'm still not spoiled, but very well edited, even though I couldn't hear it. So make sure you guys check that out over on Patreon. And if you're supporting us on Patreon, remember that you support us at that producer tier, you get shout outs at the beginning of the show, like I'm about to do on these long list of supporters. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Shout out to our archivist Christians, Dre the Goat G, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Make sure you check out Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Johnny from Show Go High podcast. Follow him on Twitter. Shout out to Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture, explicitly Monique Williams, Nachi, Semi Sensei, Frozen. Welcome back, brother. Saphir, T Moneyfingers. Thank y'all so much for supporting us at that producer tier. We couldn't do this without y'all. It means the world to us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, your names is at the bottom of this description of the video and the show notes. Thank you so much for supporting us. Okay, so with all the Patreon content out the way, you have to remember October 29th, next Sunday, October 29th, we are doing Mic Check Live 3. Mic Check Live 3 is going to be October 29th at 10:30 Central Time. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Mic Check Waifu at 10:30 Central. We'll be going live, doing a live recording of 226. We'd appreciate it if y'all can all show up. If you can't show up, it'll still be up on live services and Patreon and all that good stuff. So remember, next week, October 29th, Mic Check Live 3, 10:30 Central. Be there or be square. All right. Without further ado, let's do further. Montel, how you feeling, brother?
Hearing about that live episode just got me hyped, bro. Hype. Yeah. I always get hyped just that thought.
Yeah, those are always super fun.
And the Patreon exclusive content that feels good too.
We've been on the road.
I'm excited for that. The girl I confess to is an alien. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be good. But I'm good, bro. I'm real good. But I'm doing real good. Happy in general. How you doing, Polo?
Good, man. I finally beat Miles Morales, so I started Spider-Man 2 yesterday, I think it was. And boy, that game started off with a fucking bang. It's incredible so far. I'm loving it. I'm not going to talk about any other story beats because obviously it's still too early to do so. But the game is fantastic so far. It's absolutely fantastic. Even though it's just more of the same. I see a lot of people on Twitter talking like it's revolutionary combat. They didn't change anything on the combat like almost whatsoever. Revolutionary swinging. Well, they added a flight suit. That's super cool, but it's still the same swinging. So, I mean, everything is still normal, but what ain't broke don't fix, you know? So
exactly, man. And when you got something that good.
Mm-hmm. And those of you that don't know or who didn't listen to the after story, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. So was that on after story or was that on mic check? I can't remember. We got some fucking.
I believe we talked about it.
Yeah. So Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. So I'm ecstatic about playing it. Absolutely love it. And it looks beautiful. For the first time ever, I'm playing something in fidelity mode on my PlayStation, which I had to adjust my eyes to because I'm not used to playing anything lower than 60 frames per second, especially with this monster of a PC. But it's running. I have it at like 40 frames per second right now, so it's not doing too bad. But it's, it looked good though. It looked real good. So, I digress. This is the Anime Podcast, Mic Check Waifu, where we bring you seasonal topics every Tuesday at 9:30 CT. Central Time. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. The listens have been crazy. The support on Patreon has been crazy. We seriously are so thankful, and we're trying to do more for you for supporting us. I promise we're going to try to show up on socials more, probably, maybe, to communicate with y'all like we used to. It's just harder, It's hard now, especially with all the content we got in the pipeline. That's mostly Patreon exclusive. So, again, if you want to support us, you can. If not, still sign up for our Patreon. It's on our Twitter. It's on our bios and everything. Just check it out because you can still sign up for free. And then whatever episodes we released for free on there, you can see. And if we do decide to release episodes for free later in the future, they're there as well. So, all right, Tel. I'm gonna just start by saying this.
All right.
To start the show. Was this the week for Heat Week? Is this the Heat Week for fall?
This is a pretty hot week. This is one of them.
Yeah, it was definitely one of them. So how are we going to pick our sleepers this week?
Episode of the week.
Episode of the week. Yeah.
So I have my episode of the week. There is obviously a lot of episodes I want to talk about. Especially like if we just take all of the story out of JJK and we just talk about that fight choreography and the camera work.
Christ. And sound.
The thing is that, and I'm gonna just go off of like I'm impressed with something from it because episode of the week is very hard to choose this week. But I'm gonna go with Overtake this week.
I still haven't watched it.
It's fine. A lot of heavy story context this week, and man, it was good. It felt like I was watching a slice of life anime, and it just delved into so many. It really developed the characters extremely well, and this is what, and I hate to compare them, but they are comparable. MF Ghost and what Overtake don't have in common. Overtake really focuses on those characters right now and building dynamics around those characters, whereas the racing is important, but the characters that are doing the racing are more important, and the photographer and the main driver is crazy. Episode was great. Animation for the commercial was amazing. But yeah, amazing episode this week on top of everything else that was amazing this week. Polo, what about you, bro? What's your episode week? Because I know it's hard to pick.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick. I had to choose between four.
That's how I felt.
That I could have choose from. But I'm going to go with Eminence and Shadow for sure. Yeah. Eminence and Shadow was just fucking incredible. It's hard not to, even though there's so much. So like JJK could have been one easily.
Easy.
My sleeper, Frieren could have been one. My sleeper could have been one. It's
God.
It's so much that could have been episode of the week this week that I couldn't. 100 Girlfriends could have been one. funny enough.
Undead Unluck had some. I don't know if you thought it was, but it was a way. This is where it's getting to the part I really like with the how Andy thinks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I recently tweeted that I wish I can enjoy it as much as y'all. I guess to start the show, and people are gonna hate me, and I know.
Yeah, let's do that.
Listen, I know y'all gonna hate me for this. Scuba Steve specifically. It's so far so bad. Like this show fucking stinks to me. I'm so bored every time I watch it. I turn it on, and I'm like, this shit is. And again, it goes to what I talked about on Take Talk. I don't give a fuck about these characters whatsoever, like at all. And obviously, they're maybe trying to trickle, the abouts slowly within the show, which is cool. I appreciate that, and I appreciate them trying to sell me on this power system that don't make no fucking sense. It just is not capturing me at all. It's not entertaining whatsoever.
So what you said, go ahead, brother.
And it's probably mostly because of the shit I've been watching that is skies above this. JJK, Eminence, and Shadow. Like this shit right now, this fall. I mean, I know JJK is a continuation, but that's just so much better as far as like when I want to watch some shit, some action, when I want to get into, more fighty shit.
Yeah. Now hear me out. I actually had this exact same thought when I watched this episode of Undead Unluck this week. I was like, the issue that they had, especially when I say like what you would have an issue with, is that they use this kind of like tropey, over the top method to try and hook people in. Yeah. And I'm like, that's definitely never gonna hook Polo. That's never gonna hook Polo.
And I see why it hooks everybody else.
Right. And what I was hoping was gonna get you was looking at how Andy explains the powers, like not specifically the powers, but how to understand it. Because he's significantly older than we actually even know. But I actually thought that the deposition with him talking about let's try and figure out your power was gonna be like a Polo ass thing where it's gonna be like, nope, I like this contextually here. But I do agree because there's a lot of telegraphing in this show as well. Yep. Like when they mention spoilers about who captured him, it just felt like obviously this person's going to
show up this episode.
Show up,
oh my god, it's so telegraphed that it's fucking annoying. Because if they didn't say anything ever and then just let her show up, it would have been so much more impactful, so much more fun to see it that way, opposed to the way they intruded it. Listen, I swear to God, this show is like just dangling keys in front of you. Like it's pretty. David does a fantastic job with sound design and just animation of the show. It looks really, really good. But when I tell you, I had trouble staying awake. I was bored as fuck. And it's just my taste. My taste don't sit right with this kind of show. It's just me.
I'm not even saying it's just your taste, bro, because I entirely understood from watching it. I was like, man, I know. Yeah, I know you. I was like, I know how this is, and this is not gonna work for Polo. But hear me out. Kind of a little bit of a segue. Shangri-La Frontier. I feel exactly that way about Shangri-La Frontier, and I know you feel more like that. But hear me out.
The exact same.
It's like I love the concept for the show.
Yes, I agree.
Not the main characters, the side characters they introduced in this episode all felt like they made the main character better. But it's something about that main character that's like, okay.
No, the side characters made the show actually tolerable. The main character is what makes the show hard to watch.
Yeah, but I think it's more about like I was saying more about the conversation that they have around the main. Sure. I wish that almost wish it was actually about trash games at this point, because they made that scene enticing, and it's like the concept of the game, the Shangri-La game. Bro. I'm like, that's fire, like that's crazy, but it's like
I am okay with it with a trash game player going into a game that's fire. Like I'm okay with this. The concept is great, but it's giving me nothing as far as character development, and like I'm starting to see where it's gonna go. So I'm looking forward to what the future may be with him. Yeah. Maybe even forming up a team with other trash game players. Oops, spoilers. Whatever. Other trash game players and them building like a party. Maybe, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That seemed like it could be something where it's much more cooler than what the fuck we're watching now. It's just a slow burn, and it's a slow burn because it's 24 episodes.
That's reasonable. That's true.
If it was 12, it'd be a different story, I think.
Yeah, you think they kicked into a higher gear?
100%.
Maybe making it more tolerable because we can cut out all the extra fluff.
100%. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about this episode too is I asked a question on Twitter, as I normally do sometimes, and I asked it super late because I was, again, balls deep in Spider-Man. Pause. Pause. Wait a minute. This is the second week in a row I said something wild. But anyway, I just asked, what are your thoughts on the fall season so far, and what's your favorite show this season? So, if you could only pick one show, what would be your favorite show? And what are your thoughts on the fall season so far? I'll start. My thoughts on the fall season so far is it's really good. As I know, as negative as I've seen with those two shows that most people are enjoying, which I completely understand why, and I respect wholeheartedly, just not for me, even though I'm still watching them every single week. Never fails. Overall, though, this season for me has been fantastic, mostly because of, we're going to get into it later, my sleeper, Frieren. Kingdoms of Ruin, which was a big surprise. 100 Girlfriends. Like I know Rob J ain't feeling it, but this fucking episode was emotional, and I actually enjoyed that more than I thought. Didn't laugh once, and it was still a great episode. Like, and the fact that they were even able to do that with a show that it's shocking to see a show like this have a high rating. I'm going to just put it that way, because shows like this never do well because they're never good. I'm going to be honest with you. They're just guilty pleasures that I usually enjoy. This one is actually good. So I'm intrigued. It's like even the Return of Magic should be special. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's so many shows that I want to continue to watch week to week that I don't want to put down. I don't want to put down at all.
So with all that being said,
I guess I didn't pick my favorite, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your favorite for the season, bro?
If I could only pick one, and it's gonna be so far right now. If I can only pick one. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna choose my sleeper. Our dating story. And there's a reason that we're going to talk about later, because we're going to get into specifically our sleepers here in a bit.
I would have to say Rent Free.
Oh fuck! What am I? I'm tripping. Yeah, Free Rent is definitely the best.
Well,
easily.
I mean, hey, we got to choose something, but yeah, I'm choosing Rent Free because
no, you're right.
As of right now, ain't nothing quite built like that right now.
You're right as fuck. You're right as fuck. Yeah, no, it's not even close, actually. I mean, again, I can't pick Eminence, right? Like it's returning. It's a returning show.
This is gonna be 20 episodes in Rent Free, so it's like how it's going and it stays is good. They got me.
Yeah. So for future reference, after the song break this week, we're gonna spoil Rent Free. Or Frieren, sorry. For those of you who are new, we call Frieren Rent Free because it's just that fucking good. What else do you want to spoil?
I mean, I don't think we really need to spoil JJK.
No.
Maybe we can talk about Eminence and Shadow.
Yep.
And,
you watch Dr. Stone yet?
Yeah, we can talk about Dr. Stone.
Yeah, let's do Dr. Stone. So your favorite is that. What are your overall thoughts on the fall season, though?
Because of this week right now, it is overwhelmingly good. Like I'm very surprised with how good this Heat week was.
Yeah.
It's like they was like, okay, 3-episode rules in effect. Give them what we got.
Yep.
So a lot of really good episodes. Yeah, it's hard to say no to this season right now.
Dude, Girlfriends is also hitting. I know that's not yours, but it's fucking so good too. Jesus, man. All right. Sleepers, bro. Let's start with yours, shall we?
All right. So my sleeper is Rain Protocol. Protocol Rain.
Protocol Rain, yep.
Protocol Rain. Got it.
Should we start with the general consensus of it first? The general consensus for Annie List. They gave it a 55.
Yeah. So I think that's accurate. And I'm not gonna say it's accurate because like I don't like it. I think it's okay. I think I've watched worse. But do I think it's, bro? You have not seen X-Arm. I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, true. I did watch a little bit of X-Arm. You're right. You spitting.
Project Scarred.
Mm-hmm. All
right, but let's. It's okay. It's okay. It actually does not hurt my ears or my eyes when I just have it on the screen in the background. I did have to watch this episode twice because the first time I had no intention of fully finishing it.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst thing I've watched. I agree with the consensus though. 55%, 57%. That's accurate. It's not the worst thing in the world, just not great. Or
you know what I always respect about you, Tel?
What's that?
And this is real. Like, no matter what, your sleeper is always going to be something nobody's heard of. It's always going to be something that could be great, even though most of the time it's not, but it's always something obscure, right? And that's what I respect the most, because you bring up this obscure stuff that is interesting to talk about. While the show is not good, it's very interesting to talk about. It's so obscure. It's so unique in the way that what it's doing. It's about esports. It's about, esports organization coming to, and you would think that'd be cool, but it is absolutely not. The characters are so distant, dry. I said this on TikTok, but they're still graham crackers. Like, they're terrible, but the potential is there. I do like the main character a bit, and that's what's, obviously we have to watch sleepers. That's the rule on Mic Check Waifu, whatever our sleeper is, we have to watch it. But I like Tail. I don't feel completely terrible watching it, right? Like, there was one of his sleepers that was the card one. That was one that was hard to watch.
It got real hard towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. But this one, I can watch it every week and be fine. Like, I know it's not going to be good, but I'm not going to be scratching my eyeballs out. You know what I mean? So I do love the fact that it's always something obscure and so unique, though, because this could have been fucking through the roof the best show this season, or it could have been the worst show this season. It kind of fell on the former, but I think that's okay.
Yeah,
I find that to be fire, though. That's why I love when you pick sleepers. It's so much fun.
And that's I don't know. That's my personal goal for sleepers, is because I hear what other people talk about and stuff like that. Yep. But I want to pick something that either is actually a sleeper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then normally I try and go outside of the genre that I'll normally watch. Mm-hmm. So this is not something I think I would normally watch. So Protocol Rain, I think for what it is, it's okay. But that's it. It is okay to be okay. Everybody and everything ain't got to be a 10.
Yeah, I respect your opinion, but it's hard to even call it okay. It really is. It's because it's even now, like it's hard to keep your eyes open watching this too. But it's not like Undead Unluck born, in my personal opinion. Like, it's not, and I'm saying Undead Unluck is obviously 20 times better. But what I'm saying is, like, it's not unwatchable, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Undead Unluck, I find myself pausing it and picking up my phone and looking at other shit, because it's just I know what that's going to be. It's just going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, it's bad, but I'm okay with watching it. I love to have this under my belt. to be honest, because I could say I watched Protocol Rain, and if it continues to be terrible, we don't know yet. It could be different, but I think I'm glad, I'm happy I'm watching it though, definitely. So I want to thank you for that, for always picking some unique shit that is either quality or not. It doesn't matter, but that's great. And for me, my sleeper is Our Dating Story, the experience you and the inexperience me. It's normally kind of along the lines of what I pick. It's in my favorite genre, slice of life, and I always choose slice of life because I know that's not the general consensus. I know people don't normally go for slice of life shows, so I try to pick the most either obscure ones or ones I think that I can get people to start watching. My goal is to find something good for y'all to recommend to y'all. To y'all say, I'm glad Polo told me about this because, you know, I'm new to slice of life, or I want to get into slice of life. And that's just what I try to do with my particular sleeper. This show, to me, while there is some, I guess you can call it gripes about it, i.e. again, being the main character. Sometimes he's a little whiny and it's the atypical main rom-com main character usually. So he's no different than that, like nerdy main character. But I absolutely love what this story is about so far. It's funny because it's titled Our Dating Story, the experience you and the inexperienced me. The person who feels to have the most experience, and what I noticed each episode is that she's the one who's supposed to be experienced, but she's the one constantly saying, no one's ever said that to me before. I never felt this way before. I never did this before. And that, to me, that whole dynamic between these two, especially with this most recent episode, which was fucking fire, I absolutely love. And again, the main character is growing on me more and more each episode.
So like this one obviously is looking at it's gonna be a Polo ass anime.
For sure. And it's kind of messy.
That's what I think I expected. Not like it's a Polo ass anime, but when they say the experience me versus the inexperienced you, after that first episode, I was like, clearly he's gonna give her experiences she ain't never had before. Right. So for me, I was like, this is gonna be good, and it feels like that was gonna be good immediately because it subverts expectations. Because they try and give us that idea that she's the experienced one when in reality they're both experiencing something that they've never
exactly experienced. She's never had a girlfriend before, and she's had plenty of, I guess, experiences,
right?
You know, so
and then with this latest episode, now they're going to experience some hating.
Oh God, it's gonna be so good. That next one's gonna be so good, dude. I cannot fucking wait.
Oh my God, yo, Shorty's like a hater, bro. A hater.
The setup for all of that though was beautifully done. Like, right, like when you go back to the episode prior to this one, where he talked about, you know, his whole situation with, you know, he confessed one time it didn't work out, and then she just so happy, you know, it's like it's so much. It's the shit I like, man. It's the mess. It's the back and forth. It's the you don't quite know exactly where this is going to go, even though you can kind of guess and see where it could go. Yeah. You just don't know quite yet, 100%. And it's special. It's special so far. The lady who wrote this, I got a feeling, is going to bring something unique. Now, the general consensus for this show is it has a 65, so it's not rated that much higher than the Protocol Rain. It's 10% higher, so I guess that is quite significant.
Oh, yeah, from F to a D.
Right. But it's like, I don't quite agree with it. I think it's easily 70, you know, minimum right now so far. But I'm looking forward to it. All right. So I asked the question on Twitter about what we thought, and we got two of, honestly, some of our favorite people, not to play some favoritisms, but so one of our producers, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, make sure you follow him and click the link if you're watching the YouTube video to his YouTube channel. It's all in the description of this video. But he said, fall has been awesome. Not only am I happy to see stuff I read, Frieren and Shangri-La, Undead Unluck, get great adaptations. It's been the shows that I didn't have on my radar that have been the cherry on top, like Kingdoms of Ruin, Returners of Magic, and Miji and Dali, which I don't even know what that is, And he said,
actually, yeah.
it's a great season so far. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And then one of our other Patreon supporters, Crystal. Crystal, everybody that listens to this podcast know we love Crystal. Crystal's been around forever. But she says, overall, I'm enjoying it. Just about everything I'm watching. With a couple of shows that are just cool, not bad. My favorite new release is probably my sleeper, The Apothecary Diaries, which me and Taylor just saw that release and we just talked about it before we hit record. Like, damn, that's Crystal's sleeper and we didn't even watch it this week. So next week, got you. Next week we got you, and we will be talking about that. So come back for that because they dropped 3 episodes, so we'll have 4 episodes to talk about. But she says my favorite reoccurring is the Saint Magic Power is omnipotent.
Yes,
I actually said it right. Look at me go. Yeah, so I can't fucking wait for that show to come dubbed. I'm waiting for that to be dubbed and done because I absolutely love that dub. I'm so looking forward to that. Man, Saint Magic Power, bro.
It's so so you know how I said turn on Protocol Rain and it's not killing me to watch it. It's just, it is what it is. Saint's Magic Power is omnipotent. It's like the same thing. It turns you on. It's not killing you to watch it, but it's like you catch yourself smiling.
It's so
and
good.
that's what kills me. It's like you catch yourself smiling watching it, just like the scenarios you might find yourself in, even if it's a potion, the way she helps people and stuff like that, bro. It's a relief almost.
A pleasant watch is what I like to call it, man. It's such a pleasant watch to just sit back, relax, and enjoy her and her surroundings and her situations. I'm talking about freshly on season 1 because I literally just finished season 1, and still in awe with how good it actually is. Like one of the shows that are extremely underrated, I think personally. The season 2 is actually 73%, which is the general consensus on that one. And yeah, season 1 is about the same. So great show. I'm looking forward to it. A show that I found to be pretty good that came back with a fucking bang is Dr. Stone, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's been so good these first 3 episodes that I gotta bring that back and put that into spoilers. So yeah, it's gonna be special to talk about that again. And then everybody's talking about Kingdoms of Ruin. That is probably the biggest, I would say, shocker this season for sure.
You think so?
I mean, Frieren already looked like it was going to be good.
Yeah.
So surprises, I should say. Maybe I should clarify that and say surprises is Kingdoms of Ruin. I think it's the biggest surprise this season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, and hear me out. It may be that maybe I'm just not. I hate to say it because whatever. Maybe I'm not as impressed as everybody else, and I'm not saying Kingdoms of Ruin is bad. I'm not saying that by any means. I just feel like, and hear me out when I say this, like Forbidden Deductions, to me, it feels like it's a more enjoyable watch. Now, that's not to say that the Kingdoms of Ruin isn't good. It's just, to me, it just seems like a typical revenge story.
Typical is not what this is.
I understand.
100% not what this is. Because I mean, what just happened in this most recent episode? It's not typical.
I'm not saying like that is typical. That's not the revenge. That's I'm saying typical revenge story. Like the fact that they're getting revenge is typical. Like the way for what they're getting revenge for is typical. This is like some Christianity Bible revenge story stuff, bro.
Everything we've watched is typical. They can't outside of ironically enough, outside of your sleeper, everything that we've watched in these seasons for the seasons we've been doing this podcast is typical.
Yeah,
so,
and
like
hear me out.
It's just about how you revolutionize that typical concept, which I think they do extremely well.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's a revenge story because humanity couldn't understand why the mages or witches had so much power.
Sure.
They eradicate them, and now we got a revenge story. To me, it's like Attack on Titan.
No,
That's what that I understand. To me, that's what it looked like. It looked like Attack on Titan, short term. That's what it looked like to me. It's cool. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just cool. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's because it's so different than that. That's why I'm so confused. Because
what's different about it?
When I think of typical revenge stories, I think of what's that trash ass shit that people love? I know it's in the recommended. Yeah, Akame got killed. Okay, like that. Fairy Gone is another one that's atypical. Death Note is 100% typical. Like it's those are kind of typical revenge stories where you kind of know where the story is gonna go. This one in the third fucking episode flipped his head, literally flipped it on his head.
Yeah, but he still just want revenge, and we got context that things may be different.
That's what a revenge story is. Of course, it's going to be him getting revenge. That's the typical part. What I'm saying is, it's the journey. It's the journey that takes you there. That's different because we still have 12. What episode we on? That's 3. We still have 9 episodes left. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to spoil anything, but it's going in like different twists and turns that you don't know. You can't predict this show. That's what I try to clarify.
Yeah,
you can't predict.
I'm not saying it's predictable. Motivations for the world, trash. Motivations for our revenge character, I think I can get it right. I understand revenge. Motivations for the world and how they moving, trash, bro. I can't agree with it. I think that's a garbage concept.
I mean that's
That's why I say to me it's a very typical reason for the world. I'm not saying that the character, the main character is not good. I'm not saying the concept they just introduced in this episode is not good. The revenge scenario they set up, come on, bro. This is like it's not a good scenario they set up. This is very average.
You're talking about the people.
Yes, the humans of the world. Yeah, to me, very garbage scenario. It's literally to me, it's like Attack on Titan again. Yeah. But they're giving us. I'm not, like I said, that's why I'm not saying the concept of like what's happening and what they introduced as like the main character and how the witches act and whatnot is not cool. The revenge setup was just like whatever.
And all of them are like that. You're absolutely right. All of revenge stories are that, like, essentially. But again, it's all about where they go with that. And again, when I was obviously Akame got killed as trash, but when I brought up Death Note, I wasn't saying those are trash. I'm just saying those are definitely typical, usual revenge stories. And Death Note is unique. It's probably the most unique one out of those. But I get what you say. I understand what you mean now because most revenge stories are like, even what's this one called? Ragna Crimson, that same motivations. It's to protect somebody.
Yeah, it's to protect the people he loved. Now, I think the difference to me is that the parallels, and this is just like because it may be, it's probably more something I'm interested in. I do kind of put this in that same category because, like I said, I don't think that Kingdoms of Ruin is a bad watch. I would definitely give this like a 70-something% in terms of a watch. Like I think it's good. Like I don't mind watching this at all. Not Kingdoms of Ruin, but Ragna Crimson to me is like right around that same ballpark. I might even say it's a little bit worse than Kingdoms of Ruin. But the thing that draws me in for Ragna Crimson is more just like I want to see the parallels between. Well, no, I was gonna say the parallels between the past stuff that develop these abilities and what the understanding of that is. Like, what's the layers to that?
I'm saying I think it's a little mindless meathead shit.
Right. It's definitely that, except for old girl with the white on who popped off in this episode.
Jesus, it's demon. But most, it's. I think it's so much more interesting than it's getting credit for, though.
What, Ragna Crimson?
Yeah. The problem is that, and I used to be a fan of the longer shit. Why we always getting all these 12 episodes? And people, again, I'm the opposite of the people. The people, every time they see 12 episodes, they're like, I smell 12 episodes, and they get disappointed. Me, I feel like 12 episodes has been better. And now maybe it could be just because this is my job and I'm like, I got to watch a lot of shit. So I would prefer it to be shorter series and kind of pushing different seasons forward. So I'm a little bit biased here, but I think the problem with 24s is that they don't ever be paced right.
Yeah. And
24 is always paced extremely slow and sometimes it's slow for the sake of filling in those episode counts instead of filling us in with content. You know what I mean?
Right. And the ones that, the ones that are normally paced right are either just like over the top good to begin with. Like, let's say right now, Rent Free, I hope it stays this good all 28 episodes. Or let's give it to like Jobless Reincarnation, where they gave us a split.
A core. I love when they
didn't feed us. They didn't feed us 12 episodes and then say, hey, we're going to take a week off and then give us a whole nother 12 episodes. Yep. They gave us 12 episodes, gave us like, what was it, 4 or 6 months, something like that. Yep. And then gave us the other half. That is easily digestible.
86 did it. ReZero did it. It's possible to be done right, but these shows just haven't been doing it right. I'm hoping that Rent Free still continues on that trajectory. But again, talking about you brought up the deduction one. Something about this one got me feeling like it's about to turn into some 91 days shit. And I know people like 91 days. 91 days was not our jam whatsoever, but I can feel it. I can feel it leaning towards that, or even sliding the realm of banana fish possibly. Like it's turning into like this weird dichotomy relationship that's I don't know. This was kind of interesting, this episode for sure, with it turned into like a basically a game of Clue, which I've got a feeling I'm gonna enjoy, but it's starting to just, I don't know, man. I just got an inkling. I got a tingling in my bingling that is gonna be something like 91 days.
And hear me out, I didn't even put that in there. Yeah. I did not even put that 91 days in there. Because if it turns out like banana fish, I'm definitely not gonna be a fan of this. If it turns out like 91 days, I'll be disappointed still. The issue is that I'm expecting like more from this because I really like I like Ron. You know what I mean?
I like them both actually. I don't know why.
And they have that. The thing is their dynamic is cool. I just don't, like you said, I don't want that dynamic to switch up too much.
Yeah, and somebody probably gonna get lost. And I don't know. It's trying to. I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like it's gonna be banana fishy or. No.
I felt like this episode though. I feel like Ron was messing with dude from the beginning. 100%. As soon as they got to the resort, I was like, yeah, Ron is that guy. He's that guy. Yeah. And I feel like he already read the situation, know what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm getting 91 days because I'm like, what are these people going to do to try to get, Ron in trouble? I guess that's as far as I'm gonna say without going into spoilers. But like, what are these people going to? What are the hoops they're going to jump through? Like, are they going to
all of them
break shit to like try to quote unquote fix them or to prevent him from doing what they're? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
because that's
weird.
What they seem like.
Yeah, it's weird, and I'm kind of not fucking with it. I would rather it be the basic fucking problem of the week. I would love that, and just watch him go. Case closed. I would love to watch it be case closed, to be honest.
A more adult version. Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, if not, we got an underlying story. I'm interested still, though. I'm interested, and I still like it. I'm about I'm about a 65 right now. Percent, if I had to give it. Before this episode, I was in 70 easily.
Yeah. This episode, like, it has some good things in it. But obviously there's some detractors in there, and that's mostly because of, like you said, I could see that them introducing this organization being like a headache to the progress of the show. You know what I mean? Because it does deter what we may have thought the progression was going to look like.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right. So moving on before we go into break, the last thing we want to talk about is everything has episode 3s now, at least. anything from your list that we didn't talk about last week or didn't have a full episode 3 and just now got episode 3, or even if you just changed your mind on something, is your list still looking the same?
So at first I was unsure about the Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. I was pretty sure I was gonna drop that. I think I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. I'm gonna watch that. Tell me about it. I like him telling her the truth real quick because I thought it was going to be him kind of like dancing around it a little bit more, but I'm not going to get into it too deep. But yeah, I was right there with you after the second episode. Then the third dropped. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Other than that, everything's about about the same. Shows like MF Ghost still really, really good.
Yeah,
and you know. It's like I said, great contrast to Overtake, but more driving, more linear in that driving field than Overtake, but still love like how they're developing the things around our main character and stuff like that.
And I saw another fucking Initial D character, so I'm like, oh shit.
And then I felt like, I don't know, bro. Berserk of Gluttony, really good. So yeah, my list, I guess realistically, is staying the same. The stuff I have here, I am most likely going to finish. Yeah, I'm gonna finish all of this.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm pretty much the same, except for Spy Family. I think I said that last week that I was going to put that down to binge later. I did. I didn't watch it this week. But I will give an honorable mention to just say I'm proud of Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. Mm-hmm. What beautiful pacing that they're going with right now. And again, like I said last week, they cut out all the bullshit and just are just giving us the shit that we need to move the story forward, which is what we've been needing for a long time. So I'm very proud of Rising of the Shield Hero. It looks great, sounds great, feels great so far. I'm definitely looking forward to more. But I mean, the list is the same. Like even shows like a playthrough of a certain dude's VR MMO life, I'm sticking with it. 100 Girlfriends, I'm sticking with it. Fucking this most recent touched my heart. I loved it.
It was a cute episode.
It was very adorable, right? The Returns magic should be special. I'm definitely keeping that up, like 100%.
Yeah, that one actually, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wish I had chosen that one for my sleeper. You
would have probably, yeah. I'm very interested to see where it's going because we already changed the future technically. I digress. I don't want to get into that. And I'm going to try to pick up Overtake. I really am. That's still on the list of things to pick up. And then in 3 days, but next week, we got Pluto, the Netflix show.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of stuff. All right. Let's take this quick break, man. We're going to take this quick break. And when we come back, we are spoiling Eminence and Shadow. No, Frie first. Frieren. Eminence and Shadow second. And Dr. Stone third.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after these. Welcome Black to episode 225 of Mic Check Waifu. Remember, October 29th, 10:30 Central Time. YouTube.com/@MicCheckWaifu. Waifu. Subscribe.
Waifu.
And watch us do a live episode. Anybody can join. It's free. So come hang out with us. All right. Mic Check Live 3. Okay. We were going to spoil. Which one you put first? I forgot already.
Rent Free.
Rent Free. Episode 7. Oh, what a brilliant show, man. What a brilliant show. Yeah, this is Tell's right. Hashtag Tell's right. This is by far the best show this season. At least new show, obviously, because we don't know what Eminence is about to do. Eminence is fucking going crazy, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Rent Free we call it Rent Free for a reason because it lives in my head, Rent Free for show.
I'm telling you.
Every time. It always got to be one of the last shows I watch. Because I just like, I get excited for it, Especially this episode. This week, episode 7. I loved it because we get to this town and the moment she senses a demon, she ready to pop off on it and she get locked up. And she's like, they asked her, I got to sit here for 2 to 3 years thinking about what I've done. She's like, oh, that's it? Really? I thought it would be more. It's just her whole concept of time is so fucked. But I love the way this episode played out. I love the conversation between her and the demon. That shit was so fucking fire because the demon was like, something about her ain't right because she don't give a fuck. And she's mad.
The main envoy of peace or whatever amongst these demons in this episode said that she knows demons' true nature, and I just love how they demonstrated.
Oh my gosh,
that's all demons are. They have the ability to communicate as humans, but they literally don't understand what it means. And it's like, yeah, they understand what the basic concept of this conversation means, but when they said, like, what does mom mean? Why do you keep saying mom when they said it the second time? And she said, mom, you said it the second time. Why did you say it? Because it makes you let us live or keep us alive. And it's
it prevents you from killing us is what they said.
Yeah, it's the manipulation in it though. Because it's a demon. It's a demon. I don't care if it's a child.
So what I love about it the most, honestly, is the way it unveils this fucking story of the world, right? Mm-hmm. It slowly but surely trickles out information without leaving us completely raw to what's going on. It shows us these flashbacks. It shows us as she's telling the story. While she's telling them the story, it takes us to that story and we live it as her while she's telling it. So we don't have to just hear from her words and hear, because her words are very monotone. And to be honest, they're kind of hard to gauge with how she feels, which as contradictory as this is about to sound, which makes her such a dope character to me because intentionally she still has a graham cracker. When you live to thousands of years, it kind of does that to you.
Yeah.
In a way. Oh God. Go ahead.
But hear me out. Like you said, she still has a graham cracker, but is she? Because she does demonstrate having feelings the entire time.
Yes.
It's just because her personality is so like, she's 1,000, 2,000 years old at this point, and she looks like a kid. We don't even know what she gonna look like when she actually is old. So,
bro,
yeah, she still is a graham cracker, but she still has her quirk where it's like, oh, I like to find spells, or she is traveling and she thinks about those things where, like Grimo said, I want all these statues around the world or the country because I don't want you to feel alone in the future because you're going to be alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. He understands that.
And to tell way off of that, the contextual gems we get from this episode are so massive. They're large, bro. Like the fact that she said that she hasn't seen one of her kind in over 400 years.
And only ever seen a handful.
Yeah. And because they don't have the urge of to reproduce. They're not, I guess, since time is such a strange thing, they don't have the mental capacity to even think about romance, which is just so crazy to think about. So now all of your kind is about to just die off because y'all don't even. It's irrelevant to y'all. It's so crazy. Like what's going like? How does this even work? You live for 2,000 years and I mean, I guess ain't no wrong with being asexual, but it's like it's bananas that your entire race of people are pretty much about to be extinct. We don't even know if she's the last one because that was 400 years ago the last time she saw one, and she's traveling everywhere. Oh God, that gem, that small little nugget alone, which is something I know what's going to happen, right? You think about it. That small little nugget alone, you got a feeling that they're going to take that small little nugget and push it down the road to another episode to where they kind of go deeper into it because of the way they do things. Because last episode, they put little nuggets into this town fighting demons or being at war with the demons to bring us to this town to where we see the repercussions of that and get into a situation where coincidence happens to be that the peace, quote unquote, peace envoy rolling through the town to do peace talks. And then,
I thought that the town was about to go up in flames when old boy pulled the sword out on the demon.
Same.
I did not think the demon was going to have self-control.
Yeah.
But clearly he knows the bigger picture.
Genius.
But let's talk about a big nugget at the end when, like you said, old boy came to go talk to Frieren. And she said, just so you know, and like it hear me out, bro. This is insane because it's the stature that she has. It's the fact that, like I said, she's virtually 2,000 years old or something like that.
Yep.
And she looks like a child. He walks in and she's like, "Oh, so you're done pretending to negotiate?" And just completely neglects to look at him. Looks down. Like you see her in the background kicking her feet. Yep. I'm just like, yo, she don't care that bro is here to kill her. After he just said, "I'm one of the demon's executioners." She don't care, and she said, "Just so you know, I'm strong."
And he said, "Oh, okay. Stronger than me?" She's like, "No, stronger than your boss." Your head. Yeah, like, and it's fucking I love that, and I hate where it stopped because they gave us blue balls, bro. My fucking nuts are swollen right now from that. But it was still so tasteful that it literally just had me excited for the next episode.
Yeah, because it's not like they gave us like that. The fight happened,
right?
Or like
exactly.
They started the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
like,
more
like somebody throwing a punch or something like they would do in My Home Hero or some bullshit like that.
Man,
nah, it was tasteful, but it fucking rocked me though. Like, no, fuck. Okay, I fast forwarded to the end to make sure we didn't get any more. See her walking out with his head on the floor or some shit. But no, I'm looking forward to this fucking next episode, bro. I really am. Gut check, man. How you feeling? Where are we going?
Man, I'm just like Frieren. I ain't feeling nothing. I'm just here for the ride. I don't know, bro. I feel like obviously she takes over in the city. Like she not take over, but she fights the demons. But I think that, and I'm not saying like, because here's what, and I'm not. I gotta get this out. The issue I'm seeing is that I feel like in her monotoneness, we know that she has emotion, but how does she feel about the actual people? You know what I mean? They let her get arrested. They mistook her actions. I hope that it's not one of those scenarios where she's like, I'm gonna let some of the people get hurt to prove a point kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Me either.
But I think that like, is it going to be one of those moments that's like a revolution, like for the people there to say like, oh, we literally cannot be cool with demons. Like there's no, and they should know that, yes. But like, what's the consequence of having to learn that? Who got hurt or anything like that? So that's what I'm interested in, see who got hurt.
So I'm going to give you my gut check. This is exactly what's going to happen, okay? To the T. To the Tajay. She's going to obviously murder this dude. He's going to be dead there. She's still going to stay in jail, right? But I think the king is going to come downstairs to talk to this elf, to kind of question her, to see what she was about, because she was about to kill the demon when they were in town. So he's going to come down, and you know, he still got on his mind like, fuck man, I really wanted to kill him, but I didn't. Hopefully when he goes down, he learns who she really is and begs for her help. I mean, kowtows like, hey, please, you're the former hero that killed the demon lord. Can you please save us? Can you please get revenge for my son type shit? And that's what's going to happen. She's like, okay, but I need a payment. She's going to request that payment. Give me a grimoire or some shit. And then they're going to pull up. They're going to come out and they're going to fucking decimate these 3 demons.
Yeah.
And not just rent free, but Stark and Fern.
Yeah. I had the feeling that she's going to leave it on them, though. You know what I mean? Like on Stark and Fern, make them do it.
Nah.
Because she knows that she can do it. You know what I mean?
She hates fucking demons too much, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's why she was about to erase, bro.
Yeah, straight up. So, especially after, you know, after a little flashback we seen and her, like, you know, I think she think is doing this for him is the right move. And it's just, I love it. I love how deep this show can go and does go, and while dropping just little nuggets enough to satiate our curiosities while still giving us information to push to progress forward.
It's a fact.
It's crazy. A small ask, man. It's a small ask. Anime can't do it. A lot of anime can't do it. Shangri-La, like it can't, and it struggles. All you got to do is just follow Rent Free's advice. You know, then you too can become Rent Free and might check Waifu with brains. I'm naming this episode Rent Free, but I'm gonna try to spell it with Frieren letters.
Okay.
Somehow I gotta figure that out. Anyway, moving on. Eminence and Shadow, episode 3, season 2. What a brilliant fucking episode, man. Brilliant episode. I was watching and I was like, after he killed him, we picked up right where he left off after he killed the guy who was trying to summon the queen or whatever. He disappears like, oh shit, did I fuck up? They're not here. All right, well, let me go look for him downstairs in the basement or some shit. Goes down, and then this fucking entire thing ensues where the vampire queen comes back to life and she's decimating people. Well, decimating his sister specifically. Fucking
and a little bit of Shadow Guard.
Yeah. Before Shadow Guard pull up though, decimating the sister and like the vampire hunter's like, yo, my queen, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. Ain't mean shit. Then Shadow Garden pulls up, and when they pull up, they kind of doing a little bit of work until she, like you said, decimate them too, which was so fucking cool to see because I love seeing when they lose.
Yeah,
because it's still dope.
And the funniest part is because also Shadow Garden very rarely loses anything. Like this, I feel like this is the first time we've actually seen them like. Yeah,
no, because they didn't have trouble with the guy either.
But what made it funny was that when Shadow Garden started to lose, because it was pretty even at first. Right. They started to lose when the statement was made that my queen is normally a slow riser because of her low blood pressure, and then all of a sudden explodes. It's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Then she becomes a problem.
Yeah, she popped off, and it was still kind of cool, right? Because I love how they animate this, but I also love their slow frames. You know what I mean? When they slow it down, it creates so much impact, especially when our boy Sid Kagano or Shadow.
No, you cannot skip the fact that inside of his sister is that queen, that the other, like basically
the calamity,
witch queen.
Calamity.
Yeah, witch of calamity is now residing within her basically, and like pulls up and fucking shows out for the most part until the body can't hold up.
And yeah, she did pull up and show out. But hear me out. That Isekai moment that his sister kind of had. Yeah. Did she get Isekai?
It's very Sid's mental, right? Because obviously he took her out with the Witch of Calamity in season 1. He took her out with him within that little world she was in. And did he, and my assumption, and I don't know this for sure, did he put her in his sister? Is that what I'm like together. I don't know.
It feels like that,
but I think that's too. I think that's too meta for him.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like it's way too serious,
right? Like a real thing that he should do, which means he shouldn't do it. As weird as that sounds. But basically, when she comes out, she gives the Witch Queen run for her money, and the Vampire Queen run for her money until she's like, "Listen, I know this body couldn't hold up. I wasn't here to win. I was here to, waste time so he can show up." And then, wow, and he comes down and fucking just kind of trade blows with her for the fun of it. I was shocked when he was talking about the money, but Beta thought he was talking about her.
But it looks so good though, bro. Because hear me out. Because I knew he was talking about the money. Of course
he was talking about the money.
But like the way that
it worked out.
Yeah, bro. And like it made everything just look so like shimmering. And it what makes it so cool, what makes this anime so ridiculously cool, is the way that like they look at him. Yep. They just view him like this like ungodly, godly presence that just can do whatever is needed. And he's doing it. He's doing whatever is needed. But it's the awe that they have. It almost makes you look at him in awe too. Like, let's join along with them.
Yeah, no, I'm in awe because it's just how fucking ridiculous he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up. It's honestly is that simple. He's really just fucking insane. Because while he's trading blows and protecting everybody, he's like, all right, let's fucking finish this. And this is when she finally talks and say, hey, what is your name? And they kind of share shadow, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, atomic recovery. Right. Is that what it?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? You just fucking healed everybody that you wanted to heal? Not just Shadow Garden, not just his sister, not just the Witch Queen, but the Vampire Queen, the entire city that was turned into ghouls, everything around the fucking city was healed, including the other fucking criminal heads. The tower folks. Like, what?
Yeah, dude is a demon. Like,
he's like, and then he explains it so nonchalantly. I mean, it's real easy to just rewrite the magic, blah 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 blah. Like, wait, what? You said what now? Blew me back, man. He's fucking insane.
So we just know at this point, it don't matter what the scenario is. Shadow got a plan.
I don't even think it's a plan. I just think he just do shit.
He gotta be, right? He gotta just be doing it like on a whim. Because when do we have time to practice this, bro?
That's a valid question. Since he was a child. Well, obviously the knowledge he brought back from his world, and then the fact that he, like, the knowledge he brought from his world, and the fact that he has access to magic is what made him train as hard as he did. He didn't need to train Kung Fu or karate, none of that shit, because he already had it from his previous world. He just needed to learn the magic.
When did bro learn that he could recovery atomic an entire city?
Because he was a fucking kid, bro.
He was just in the city. I am recovery atomic and just everybody's like, oh my god, I'm good. Well, ain't no way he did that and not be noticed, bro.
Think of it like a physics based thing, right? Like if you're a scientist and you have a fucking doctorate and fucking everything, then you just kind of like, that's basically what it is. He just knows the full fucking sequence of pi and shit.
Nah, he better. He better than any scientist or physicist on any planet.
No, you're right.
Because they fuck up every time and make little black holes. They're like, oh, I needed a black hole this big and make one too big, and now everybody getting sucked in. Some bullshit like that. I'm just saying.
Mandela effect and shit.
Yeah, Sid.
Hadron Collider
is a demon amongst demons. That man is crazy, bro.
100%. One of my favorite characters, again, the problem is that the fact that he still has no idea that his Elite 7 or his named 7 are literally doing everything in the shadows. And the department, being a department store fucking owner, one of them is one of the best fucking espionage, Epsilon is one of the best espionage soldiers ever. Fucking Alpha is Alpha. She's literally Alpha has more magic potency than Shadow. Did you know that? That's something I looked up. She's so she's obviously Alpha. Yep, the blonde hair elf. Yeah, she's the first one that he picked up. Her potency is crazy. She has that like so much mana. But
yeah, they said that what's her name had the vampire queen had more mana than Alpha, so they made that known that the vampire queen is ridiculous, but ain't nobody Shadow, and that's
it's quality, man. It's quality. They got it's so impressive. It's so impressive. It's one of my new favorite shows for sure. All right, moving on to last but certainly not fucking least, 1 and 2 of Dr. Stone. What do you think of this comeback, Tell? We heard a little bit from me, but
episode 1 was cool.
She was
nice
fired.
comeback. It was progressive. I love some motion. Episode 2. Episode 2 I feel like was kind of it. That was it's a lot that happened.
So much
between them actually putting the drones together and what happens with Genro.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean when I say like it's becoming unwieldy, unbelievable though? Even though they're using real science, right? It's just not making any sense.
Yeah. Because obviously some of it is science and some of it's not. Like the petrification thing, we know that it's going to be science, but it's not a real life science, if that makes sense. Yeah, we're not there yet to figure out some wildness like that. How quickly they put like the drones together. Yeah. And then even in the first episode when they made the air tanks, like that was cool though. Hear me out. It was cool.
It was.
But I thought the unscientific part about it is if an air tank explodes and you're on an island and you're in a cave, that sound is going to echo and bellow out somewhere, and somebody going to hear that and say, that was a giant explosion.
And nobody said nothing.
Nobody said a damn thing.
It baffles me that none of this shit just, everything they're banging metal, smelting metal, retooling metal. Nobody hear this shit in the cave.
I'm telling you.
Like, that's just a little, it's just shit like that. But when you suspend your disbelief, you fucking enjoy every piece of it. I love that Taiju is a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I love that. And I said this when season 3 launched a couple of seasons ago. I love the captain. He's such a fitting character with Taiju and what's her name? Yuzahara, I think her name was, and Senku. Like he belongs with that group. Unlike what was the other dude, the fighter dude name? I mean, he got better at the end of that Stone War arc, but
Tsukasa.
See, yeah, he was the main villain. Yeah, so it's like he got better at the end, but it's like this group is you rooting for, which I am. Yeah. And then, like you said, the whole Genru thing, I love he actually, because he was one of the ones I hated, obviously. Mm-hmm. I love his character growth this episode with him actually seeing the statue and knowing that he has to tell her what the fuck is going on up there.
It was redeeming for him.
Very redeeming.
In that moment. And what's her name? Kohaku,
yes.
It is sad to see everything that happened with Genro. And like you said, he had to tell her. And then Kohaku knowing, like, and this is what I do like. This is not even to go too far on that yet. I do like that as these characters have progressed with Senku, they actually get smarter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
To me, that's got to be one of my favorite parts about it, because Kohaku moved in a way in which she figured, like, this is how Senku may think, and I gotta move in a place or do something that's gonna get him to understand that that this is what we need to do next. Right. And it's like, I do really enjoy that part of this, that all the things they've learned are they're not just lost into the void and become some scrapless information that we learned from previous seasons. These characters actually grew and became better. And and you see it even in Genro before, like when he's saying, "Oh, I wasn't doing this because I didn't think it made a difference." But he thinks about those things, like when he was thinking about like learning how to write.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we get to this point,
important stuff. I mean,
and that's what I'm saying is like we get to this point, and all those things become a culmination of more development for these characters. We got so much of it for Genro in this episode,
yes,
and then just to tap it off with his injury that is clearly fatal.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me out. That might be, I'm not going to say the injury being fatal is going to be my least favorite part, but that might be one of the things I start to dislike about this anime. If people keep getting hurt and they keep turning them into stone to prevent the death.
Yeah. What I like about that, because again, I 100% agree with you. That shit is a plot armor as fuck. But what I like about it is that they established that way in season one. So it's not like it snuck up on us like, oh, guess where you come back? No, it was established way back.
Right.
So that's the only redeeming quality part about that. But I think you're right. Like the fact that they're just going to be whoever gets fucking hurt, they're going to turn them to stone and just bring them back since they got the permanent revive fluid. So
right. And what I think will make it more interesting, because we know like Tsukasa, he had an illness.
Right. And they had to freeze him.
Yeah, they had to freeze him. But when he comes back, they're going to be working on healing his illness. You know what I mean? So that's different. But I think they established this as well, that like any kind of mortal injury where like, you know, a puncture or a break or something like that, if you pour the solution, like they frozen you or they turn to stone and you pour the solution on them, that gets healed, right? Is that something that we know is going to happen?
Oh, yeah. Like it was early in season one, somebody was injured. Yeah. And when they revived them, all their injury was gone. They're like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah, because I remember like he did like a partial thing where he put like the stone on him and then did like a little bit of.
Yep, because he was technically dead or dying from Tsukasa, because Tsukasa chopped him in his neck.
Yeah.
And basically, essentially, supposedly killed him. But, you know, the revive fluid, he revived a little piece that he had.
That would have been broken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a little plot armory. But all the things they did for the story development, character development in this episode was crazy. So it was worth it. This was such a good episode. Yeah. This would have been one of the episodes that if this week hadn't have been so stacked, 100%. Could have definitely been a good contender for episode of the week. But it's still a really good episode.
Brilliant episode. It was great. Dr. Stone has been great now, man. And I love when I'm like, when I spin back on a show, you know what I'm saying? When something starts off good, goes bad, stays bad, and it goes good, especially when you want it to be good. Mm-hmm. I love that, and I'm okay with that. Next episode, the way this is pushing, it's going at a nice pace. So obviously, Kohaku saw the petrification device, so now she knows what it looks like with her good eyes, which is also great. As soon as she's turned into stone, I don't know why they made it seem like she wasn't instantly going to be revived soon thereafter. Mm-hmm. Because what I like about this too is that the village has no idea that everybody is basically or can be unpetrified. They don't even know that that's even a thing. So it's very interesting to see that what they're going to see when they see these people come back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to
permanent punishment.
Straight up. I'm looking forward to it probably more than Mic Check Live 3 next week. October 29th, Central Time. And I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
You follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on X, at Mic Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mic Check.
Ooh.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu. that you? Is that you? Is that you?